So Drake's son dropped the song.
His son?
His son dropped a little
like
song.
4?
Shit is trash, but it's cute because it's Drake's son, and like, you know, it's cool to see Drake supporting his son's like endeavors. Like, it's cute, you know.
This feels somewhat uncomfortable to go from sex tape to a child dropping a song.
No, but so then my girl goes, yeah, but if Kim Kardashian's kids did this, they would be on her neck, and I'm like, of course, because they're attention whores. They do everything for attention.
Yeah.
So because they do everything for attention, naturally they're gonna freaking, like if they were to release, if Kim Kardashian were to release, like let's say her son or her daughter making a music video, they're like, oh, they're doing it for attention. Because they've built this name for themselves where no matter what they do, it's gonna be hard to respect it because all they do, everything they do is for attention.
Right.
You know?
Right.
So with Drake, it's different. It's like, oh, it's cute, it's endearing because it's their kid.
Yeah.
But with the Kardashians, it's like you can't, like anything they do, they tarnish it forever because they're such attention whores. Like, why do you think that it's hard to respect what the Kardashians do?
Because the basis, I think you can respect the business acumen, but I think where it becomes difficult to respect it is that they try not to acknowledge what the creation of the entire empire was built off of.
Yeah.
Robert Kardashian was a very successful attorney. Right?
Defended our boy.
Right? Well, that's a very interesting position to take, but you're certainly not wrong. Nevertheless, he and his entire image, not necessarily defamed and defaced, but it's been usurped by what his children have created and his ex-wife had created. But Kim, primarily known for the sex tape, we look at it from, okay, how did you take this negative and turn it into a positive? Moreover, how you're viewed is still that of somebody
so my girl was saying, it's like you have to respect it that she's built $1 billion empire from a sex tape. Because women drop sex tapes all the time.
All the time.
They're not doing shit.
Yep.
With Kim Kardashian, she's built something out of it, but still at the same time, it doesn't garner the same amount of respect as if she would have done it through a trade. I was explaining the reason that there's no respect there is because she doesn't really necessarily have a trade per se of like, hey, you built an empire from this. No, you got attention from a sex tape, and then you capitalized because you threw that attention towards other shit like businesses, TV show, et cetera, and you've been able to monetize.
It all stems from the reality show, and I can at least say this much, as it pertains to reality television, her family is amongst like the titans in the space, because back in 2007, reality television was already, around, but I don't think there was a face of reality television. Of course, there was like a ton of MTV. They had a ton of different things on different locations. But when the Kardashians, Keeping Up with the Kardashians released on the E! Network, I don't know what it was about that family that made people buy in so heavily, because I don't know if there was a, not Desperate Housewives, that was just a television show, like a Real Housewives or a Love and Hip Hop or a Basketball Wives.
You know what I think
I don't recall if those shows were out at the time of the release of The Family, but it was centralized around their family and the access that they have due to the wealth that they had already had.
I think the allure
created something that was so incredible to where everybody tuned in.
The allure actually, I think, comes from like, people want to see what the lifestyle of the rich and fabulous are.
Right.
So when you have these Kardashians that are like, I think I'm going to go to Mykonos this week, and it's like they're doing this voice, people are like, oh, would be nice to live like that.
Right.
You know?
And I think the age played a role as well, because if I'm not mistaken, I think Kim was born in 81, I think. So at the release of the show, the oldest sister is Courtney. I think she's older by a year. So she would have been 27. Kim would have been 26. I think Chloe's maybe a few years younger, maybe like 24 or some shit like that. Rob, who gives a fuck at this point, he might as well transit. That's a different conversation. But him, the two, Kylie and Kendall, you're watching people grow up. I think that adds to the allure. Had they just been a bunch of women in their 30s and 40s, nobody would have gave a fuck. But because they were at the age, and moreover, the introduction of social media with Facebook was starting to hit its peak at the time.
It's the allure of like being able to capture attention. That's what they built their entire. So I guess their skill would be capturing attention.
Yeah.
Right, but it's just unfortunate that they had to capture attention in that way and use the father's wealth, use the sex tape to then garner attention.
Right.
But I mean, you see it with like YouTube boxing. YouTube boxers, the only reason these YouTube boxers are outselling actual boxers is because they have attention.